Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I'll be doing my trailer reaction to yet again another Comic-Con trailer which was unveiled earlier last weekend. Kong Skull Island. We finally saw our first glimpse at the King of the Apes himself, and fantastic new trailer promising all sorts of amazing action spectacle and one gigantic gorilla. So, once again, at the Warner Brothers panel, Warner Brothers and Legendary Pictures unveiled the first official trailer for Kong Skull Island after hearing and seeing so much about it with casting announcements and first official images of like the cast and crew on the set in the jungle. It looks like it's going to be a fun movie, and it looks like King Kong is going to be more than a match for Godzilla when they finally butt heads and meet fists and teeth and claws in their own Versus movie coming in 2020. Hopefully we'll still be alive by 2020, providing whichever president we elect will remain president long enough for all of us to live long enough to enjoy that movie. So that being said, it looks like it's going to be a fun one. So what we know about it, it's set in the 1970s during Vietnam War. Obviously, Samuel Jackson's some kind of U.S. Army commander. John Goodman is either a scientist or a biologist or a cryptozoologist out to prove the existence of giant monsters. Tom Hiddleston is either a soldier or it's just some guy traveling with them, like maybe he's a photographer or something like that. Brie Larson is the photographer. She looks like the photographer. Corey Hawkins from Straight Outta Compton and The Walking Dead is playing a soldier. And of course, the big man himself, King Kong, is playing himself, King Kong. I loved the opening where it shows the helicopters flying over what is presumably Skull Island, of course. And the next thing we see, a palm tree is hurled into one of the helicopters, sending it spinning and flying out of control. And of course, we all can only assume who was responsible for that. And it looks like what happens is that our characters are stranded after all their choppers go down, and it's a matter of getting back to their boat. So their battleship that they're on is probably sailing just offshore of Skull Island, and the opening voiceover says something about a survey mission, doing a survey mission probably for the U.S. Army. Maybe they want to scope the island out to see if there are any Viet Cong hiding there, or maybe they want to turn it into an army base or something. I don't know. And it seems like, based on Samuel Jackson threatening John Goodman's character knows more than he's leading on or than he wants to say. But of course he admits that he's been looking for proof of giant monsters for years, and as of course we see that proof is standing right in front of them, literally standing on both feet, and he's not going to be, King Kong might still be on his knuckles, just like Peter Jackson's King Kong from about 11 years ago. This Kong is going to be massive, tall, standing on 2 feet, and he is going to be huge and just sheer awesomeness altogether. I love the bits and pieces where it shows them in the boneyard surrounded by gorilla skeletons, and then we see the soldier on top of a triceratops skull firing a Gatling gun, presumably at King Kong, or something big is coming at them. And King Kong may not be our only monster in this movie. No, I do not think we're going to get a glimpse of Godzilla, if that's what you're hoping I was saying, but we will probably see other giant monsters and creatures on the island which share the island with King Kong, because as we saw in the last installment of King Kong, Peter Jackson's Kong, there were plenty of ugly monsters to go around, and we may get some of that in this movie as well. However, the primary focus will be on our human characters trying to survive the island while encountering King Kong. Oh man, it looks exciting. And it just looks really, really good. And for people who were worried about what Kong's chances were of facing against Godzilla, he looks like more than a match for Godzilla. He looks like he has a, he's big enough to have a fighting chance against the King of the Monsters. And when their movie finally happens in another couple years in 2020. And don't worry, you guys, before you know it, it'll be 2020. We'll be electing another president again, assuming that we're all still alive and the human race is not extinct before then. Hopefully we will see those two butt heads and clash finally after all these years. But first, we got a couple more monster movies to get through. Kong Skull Island, Godzilla 2, and then, of course, there will be Godzilla vs. Kong. However, it is possible we may get some teases or Easter eggs of Godzilla. Not the big guy himself, but maybe we'll get mentions of the Monarch organization, the people who were tracking Godzilla in the latest installment from 2014. However, whatever they decide to do, I am super excited about this movie. I already was, simply because I knew that this version of King Kong would be going up against, or possibly fighting alongside our current version of Godzilla, and I'm just super, super excited about it. God, I love going to Comic-Con because you're surrounded by so many fans of the same franchises, shows, and movies that you enjoy, and then everybody's enthusiasm and excitement is felt throughout the entire atmosphere, especially when awesome trailers like Justice League, Wonder Woman, and Kong Skull Island, and so many others are shown. It is such an exciting time right now in the world of film and television. I cannot wait for all of it. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. Oh, man, I can't wait. My throat's getting dry. I gotta grab some water. Okay, I'm gonna, before I do my usual exit, I just want to let you guys know I will be doing one more video tonight, and then I'm gonna call it a night after that, because I'm getting kind of tired. But if this is the last video you'll be watching tonight at least, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to keep up to date on all of the news and coverage regarding Kong Skull Island and the other trailers I've covered earlier this evening. Also, please remember to check out my Facebook page in the description down below. I think you'll like what you see. What did you think of the first trailer for Kong Skull Island? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Would you have changed some things? Did anything confuse you? If you do leave comments below, please remember to please be respectful of one another's beliefs and opinions, and let's try to keep it civil and be polite to one another. And thanks again for watching. Kong Skull Island hits theaters March 2017. Alright, you guys, have a great rest of the night if I don't see you again, but I will be seeing you again shortly in just a few moments.